Alright, we're live. What's up, guys? Today I'm going to be setting up, oh my, it's heavier than I thought it would be, and configuring this Ninebot E Plus using, well, it was actually a C Plus, but using the VESC tool. I've built this, I ripped out the controller, ripped out the battery, and I put in a VESC. It's using the CFOC version 2, and it's got this little pigtail in the back over here to plug in a battery. Now, I have hooked it up to the VESC tool and made sure that the motor spins, the Bluetooth works and stuff like that, but I have not loaded the balance app at all. So this is going to be a first try live so you can see what I go through. And sometimes these things just work, sometimes they don't. So here, got a battery inside this box with a wire coming out of it. I'm going to plug this in to the VESC and move it a little bit off screen, and we'll just get started. And hopefully I'll be riding this by the end of the video. And again, this is going to be really cool because I have never done anything other than just made sure that the motor works. So let me first connect, go to Bluetooth. I didn't expose a USB port on this, I wasn't that fancy. Refresh, I think it was E9. No, maybe it was F3. So this part always kills me because for some reason Linux, no matter how many times I restart VESC tool, it has every Bluetooth device just listed there. There's probably somewhere I can go and delete it. Okay, so last time I just did the FOC stuff manually. This time I'm going to use the wizard. I'm going to go with the large hub bike motor. There we go. Next. And we're doing 10S. And I think 15 amp hours. I don't really care about those numbers. I'm going to disable some of that stuff anyway. It's direct drive. And what is 16 inches in millimeters? It's 406.4 millimeters. Let's just make it 405 and assume that my tire is going to have some give to it. Alright, let's run detection. No can. Let me make sure that you guys can see this while it happens. So I am using a webcam rather than the laptop microphone, so that you guys should be able to see some of this stuff. There we go, there's that. Just gonna hold this down, hit OK. Oh, there's a little pop-up. I guess you guys, I don't think you guys saw the whole wizard pop-up. It looks like the thing that I'm using to capture my screen is only capturing the main VESC window and it doesn't get pop-ups. But if you've ever used the FOC detection wizard, you probably know everything I was saying. This is tool version 2.0.5 for a future confused person. There it is, success. It gave me an ID, motor current, all of that stuff, flux linkage, blah 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 blah, hall sensors, perfect. So you can finish that. Now if I turn on keyboard controls, yeah, so when I do duty cycle control, it feels a little bit coggy, but when I do the regular other control, it feels perfect, the current control, which is fine. Now you guys may notice that I have this sitting on a cutting board, and that's because I've done many burnouts on this floor, and any burnouts on this floor is too many. So, okay, that's good. Let me make sure I'm still recording. I am, good. So now, going to jump into IMU calibrate that. So let me turn on real-time IMU data, and I'm going to use this. Is this thing working? Yeah, it is. Okay. So I'm going to use this calibration detection, and to do that, get my headphone cable out of here. I'm wearing headphones because the microphone on that is much better and doesn't get any background noise. Okay, that's roughly straight up. Gonna hit play. There's a pop-up. Alright, calibration result is saved. Apply it. I'm mostly going to change this to 1000 Hertz. And write the app config. Sweet, now the IMU is level. Now, hopefully this is the pitch axis. It is, sweet. So, we're all good on that. We don't need to change anything else. This is roll. Perfect. I do want to tweak some of these numbers though. This Madwick beta is kind of high. I'm going to set this to 0.05 for now. That's like a good happy medium, but I'm going to tweak that stuff later. Alright, that is all set up. Now we need to go into the balance app. So change this app to use to balance. Here we are in this thing. Now, where's the scroll bar? There it is, whatever. Get this out of here. Let me just go through these. Startup pitch, angle tolerance, 20 degrees, that's fine. Roll, 8. Let me make this bigger. Make this 20. Now I'll make it 10. Centering speed 30 is good. Brake current 0 is totally fine. Tilt back angle. 15 might be okay for a unicycle. Speed 5. I think these settings were like kind of default for a unicycle. So now here, high voltage tilt back. I'm gonna do 43 because I got a 10S battery right now. And low voltage tilt back, gonna do 32. And 32 is normally lower than you would want your lithium ions to go. But that's going to happen as soon as I sag the battery. So if I'm like stable at 34 or 35, I'll be dipping into that 32 as soon as I accelerate hard or hit a hill. So that should be pretty good. Going to increase this because I know this is a slow motor and a slow battery. Just give me 3% more. I'm going to leave the delays off for now. So pitch axis fault cutoff. Let's make this like 30. And roll axis 45. I know we all hate 45, but I'll leave it there for now. We don't need switches, so the half state doesn't matter. And fault delay, we'll leave that as 0 as well. Loop hertz 1000, these you do not want to touch. I don't care about any of these other settings. So now the only thing we need to do is set a very low p-value and make sure that my motor direction is correct. So set that to 0.5 and write the app config and turn off real-time IMU but turn on real-time app. I'm not seeing any data. Oh, that turned on the real-time, not real-time app. There we go. There's app data. Sweet. And my state is fault. The bottom here. Where's my mouse? There it is. Everything looks okay. So now, let me get a better grip on this. I may see what the camera view looks like. I'll move this back a little bit. Am I still recording? It looks like the camera froze. What I can do is I can just change scenes. What's the video camera? Yeah, this video camera has been giving me trouble. I'm going to change scenes to this one. And now we're using the laptop camera, which is not as good. But we'll just make do with that for the rest of the video. Let me move it out of the way so that it doesn't block too much of the settings. There we go. I can do that. Okay. Now back to here. Let me try to balance it and see what happens. It might just go the wrong way. Oh, it's balancing. Sweet. So there was a 50-50 chance there. But we're balancing first try. That's good. So now, oh, it's got power too. Oh, okay. Now that that's good, and it shuts off safely, that's nice. Let me put in some more real values. So we'll up the P to 5, we'll leave I at 0. We don't need any of that for now. And put D at like 40, just to start, and see how that goes. And this should be writable if it works. So let's see. Did we write that? I don't think we wrote that because this feels exactly the same as before. Bluetooth connection can be kind of finicky. Let me turn off the real-time app data so that it's not as overloaded. There we go, we got app config right. Let's see now. Okay, there we go. See, now it's really stiff, but it's also kind of twitchy, which is cool. I probably could actually ride that, but I think if I just increase my D to 80, it'll probably be a lot smoother, and we'll be in a better place. I didn't see the app written message, so try it again. That time I saw it. Let's see now. Okay, that is way more stable. I think I could ride this. Let me take these headphones off. It's still twitchy, but I think I can actually ride this, which is a pretty big success for 2 seconds into the video. I'm not touching the kitchen counter. Okay, so it's rideable. You guys can't hear me, can you? Let me cut this off. Alright, so that was rideable. The P is obviously very low, and it's still kind of twitchy. Now, I think I can make it less twitchy by changing the IMU settings. So, 0.5. So, I think if I turn this down to like 0.2, should get more stable. But I also know that if I change it to Mahoney, I think it'll get even stabler. But let's try this step first once, just to see. Try writing app config again. Nothing. Try it one more time. Still nothing. If I turn on IMU data and write app config, I should see it reset. Okay, I don't know. Let's just hope that it wrote. And now this might get worse. Oh no, that's way better, I think. But it's still kind of twitchy. So let us change Mad Quick to Mahoney. And the default settings on Mahoney are actually pretty good. Oh yeah, look at that. That is dead steady. That's a huge difference. And there's definitely tweaks you can do there. I think lowering accelerometer confidence decay helps, but let me just double my P right now. 10. And also, I think actually my motor current. Whoa. That is not stable. Okay. I guess if we put more D, that should help. That's weird, just that made such a huge difference. Turn it back down to 7, so we just get a little bit of shakes. think let's try turning the accelerometer confidence decay down to 0.05. I think people are running like 0.01, but that's pretty shaky. Let's try 0.01. This might be a bad idea. Let's turn the P down, I think, as well to 0.2. I think that's a little bit better. Make this 0.1. At this point, I'm just guessing. That's definitely better. I think it's better. But now let's see what happens if we mess with my D. So if I turn this up to 120, does that get more stable or less stable? That did not write. That is much more stable. Okay. Honestly, I'm just messing with things here now. Let's try 10. Probably gonna need more D again. Yeah, now we're getting shakes again. Turn the D up to 160. It's a higher pitch. Try 180 or try 200. This might just be too high at this point. Okay, yeah, so this is definitely D vibrations. Turn it down to 100 again, not 1000. Okay, see now, I think I'm getting P shakes. So, sucks because it was pretty good before. Let's 7. What did I have? I had 120. Let's try 120, see if that gets better or worse. I think that's a little bit better. 140. I think it's taking slightly longer before it freaks out. Let's turn this back down to 7 because I think these settings worked. Yeah, see here it's not shaking at all. But this P of 7 I think is going to be a little bit too soft for me to want to ride it. But we can try riding it and see how it feels. Now the other thing I wanted to do was change this current. Because the motor max is really sad. Set the battery to 60. And it's the CFOC too, so put these at 60 as well. You know, let's do 50 just to be really safe. I don't want to get into that weird state of errors if I do low speed, high torque. Okay, let's write that. I also want to, oh, wrong one. Write the motor config. What? That's weird. That is outside. I must have missed a decimal place or something. Anyway, we'll set these to 0 because I don't want those. Try this again. 50. 50.00. Oops. Wrote the app config. Okay, this time the motor config wrote okay. So let's just try riding this and see how the P of 7 feels. I think it's not going to be enough. I don't think this headphone cable, I'm just going to take the headphones off when I ride it and you'll see my feet. I'm also going to get rid of this slip and slide thing. It's going to stop being burnouts, but I think we're past burnout stage, at least on this current test. Alright, so the results are in. That P of 7 actually felt pretty rideable, but it was still a bit soft for my taste. So I try to dig up some screenshots of some settings from people who have messed with Mahoney more than me. See if I can remember, because I was just trying to copy their settings based on what I remember them talking about, but I don't really know. I think it's going to be here. There it is. Whoa, so they're doing really high KP on the Mahoney and then not having any D value at all. So because I'm running into D issues, I'm going to try raising my KP and see if what they were doing works for me. I'm supposed to be the person who knows this stuff. But, yeah. Can't just try every setting all day. So, let's go to IMU settings. Change this KP to 5. See if it freaks out or gets better. I don't know if that wrote. So what I was doing before, that seems much worse. So that's interesting. But he had this at 0.3. So let's try that. That's still pretty bad. Let's try raising this just a little bit more to 9. And if it gets even worse, we'll know that this is not working for me. That is much worse. Oh, but maybe I need to drop my D. Let me try dropping my D, because these do feel like D oscillations. So let's put this at 40. Oh, that was bad. Okay, so those settings are clearly not working for me. So let me double check them and make sure I didn't copy them wrong. Yeah, that is, I don't know how anybody's using that. Because that does not work. Interesting. Okay, so let's go towards similar to what I have on my other unicycle, which would be this at 1, this at 0.3, I think I had a 0.1 here just for good measure. I don't know if that wrote or not, I didn't see the right. Again, I don't see the right. See, before I was using the balance app to stop balancing to see if it wrote. I'm just going to assume that it wrote. I'm not seeing any balancing at all. Interesting. I don't think, probably just didn't write and I'm dead. There we go. So yeah, this is stable, but if I let go of it, it's not stable at all. So yeah, I think we need to start raising our D up again. I might just settle for the 0.7 and end the video here, because when things work, it's great and fun to make a video. See, that's not freaking out. That's actually pretty good. But when things don't work, trying to get it all working perfectly on camera is a bit of a headache. give myself just a little bit of eye term. I think that actually maybe made it slightly more stable. Yeah, I'm just messing with things at this point. 7.5 is not that bad, but that twitch at idle definitely sucks. Oh, my throat is cramping up from talking non-stop. Probably should drink some water. See if we can sneak it up to 8. So that's worse. Try 120. I think that's also worse. Try 100 here. Those are bigger shakes. 130. Like 140 was as best as it was gonna get. Here, a little bit of the D and a little bit of the P, so it's vibrating on both. Something else we can try doing is messing with the loop frequency. Kind of don't want to mess with that. I think probably the IMU settings is what I need to figure out. So if we turn this down to 0.2, oh wow, that's way better. I mean, it's a little bit of vibration, but that's almost acceptable. I don't know if you guys can hear the vibrations, but I'm just listening to the vibrations. Perhaps I should switch microphones. Oh my god, I'm dying for some water. Alright, well, we were able to get our P up to 8. If I can get it to like 10, I'd be pretty happy. Like 11 or 12, I think that's more than enough. So, I'm just running through my head like why this thing is so hard to tune, and I have my excuse. Now that I have an excuse, I can say, oh, it's that thing's fault. So, the controller board I put in here is, I guess it's got some weight, but there's no battery in here at all. It's just an empty shell. So, the motor has a ton of power over the shell. And you may have even noticed, like, when it's vibrating, if I just put my hand on it, like I'm not holding it, I'm just barely resting my hand on it, and it becomes so quiet. And so these side, oh, it's already starting up. These side pouches, one of them is just completely empty. If I would just, literally, I got the battery sitting right over there. If I would just put that inside of here, or something heavy inside of there, I think it would really help to add to stability. But that's kind of my guess at like what the problem is, because yeah, it's I don't know if you can hear the vibrating. I'll put the mic up against it. Yeah, if I just rest my hand on it, not a little bit of weight, it's just completely stable. Yeah, I'm not pushing or squeezing. I'm like, I think I'm doing slightly more than just gravity, but that's about it. I'm kind of curious, can I take something heavy and just stick it to this? Like what would be a good heavy thing? I mean, obviously this battery would make sense, but it's kind of unwieldy to just tape this battery on and I wouldn't be able to get a good fix. But yeah, I kind of think like if this was just right here, oh, that already feels so much quieter. Maybe I could tape this on. I wonder what that would look like. I do have tape. Should I do it? You know what? I'm gonna try it. That would be an interesting thing to learn. So this is like the depressing talk with Mitch time. So when I said I hadn't tried all of the settings, that is because things often don't work the way you expect them to. And when you've tried a lot of things and none of them work, you don't just jump at every opportunity to try something new. But let's try this. I think I can tape this up and maybe have this be more stable. So first off, I'm kind of curious to see this thing roll to center. See how it does on that. That's reasonable. Okay. Let me get some tape. Alright, I'm going to unplug this for a second, reconnect that, and now we should be able to reconnect here. Okay, that's good. And I'll pop this up here. Okay, that is there. Look at that. You hear that? So, it's vibrating. Put that on, it's just steady. Okay. I think that's good. So ridiculous. I just ripped that piece of tape with one hand. I need a thumbs up for ripping that piece of tape with one hand, alright? This video does not get 3 thumbs ups. I'm never uploading a video. That was not the way to do this. Let's go straight down. Tight, yes. This video does not get 3 thumbs ups by December 2035. I will not upload a video for 2 weeks after that. This is getting ridiculous. I probably should just shut this off and lay it down somehow. But it's nice having it upright while I do this. So. It's coming together. Professional vehicle over here. unicycle manufacturers hate him. How this one guy reinvented a unicycle with just some duct tape in his kitchen. Click here to see more. So at this point, we've gone off script and I'm completely experimental. But I am kind of curious if this will work, because I've always had this theory that more weight will be more stable. This thing is already pretty solid on there, but let's get a little bit more on the sides. Yep, that's there. This will be easier to test ride as well, maybe. Probably not. I think my knees are going to hit that. But part of me building this one is a test run for a build I'll hopefully be doing next weekend. And so I do genuinely want to see. We are getting some twitches when I put some weight on it, but that's kind of to be expected when you put things right on the edge of their power. It kind of goes between on and off. Okay. Oh, that is heavy. This is going to be weird. I might lose control of it while trying to test it, but whatever. Okay. So we've got this. Let's get back to messing with the settings. See if we can turn our P to 9. If we gain 1 point of P, I'm taping that box to the top, calling it a win. Oh! 9 is stable. 9 is stable. We did it. Let's see. Look at that. No twitching at 9. I knew it. It's the weight. Okay. Let's go. 10. Boom. It's off. 10. Perfectly stable at 10. Oh, this is, see, this is why. Hopefully you guys heard me talking while now I need to know. Let's go back here. Angle this thing up where it was. Okay, you could have heard me talking the whole time. Okay. Yeah, see? 10. P equals 10 and we're stable. Now this should feel, it still feels a little bit soft. Let's crank it up. Let's go to 12. We're not even going to go to 11. We're just skipping straight to 12. That's how confident I am. Okay, that feels pretty good. I actually want to go back to the IMU and do, oh, we're only at 2 there. Let's put this, yeah, let's leave it at 0.2. That's fine. Okay, now I'm going to try to ride this. This should feel great as long as this box is not like in the way of my knees, physically stopping me from riding it. So let's see how this is. Alright, we did it. That's how confident I feel in the stability of this device, that I will just leave it leaning up against the wall. So, we've succeeded. It feels great. The part that does not feel great is that the IMU is calibrated off by a few degrees, so it's just like when I ride. These things always have a little bit of drift when you turn, and that combined with the fact that it is calibrated off, although it looks, yeah, it's definitely angled that way. Let me turn this camera around so you can see down my hallway. I'll ride it up and down the hallway and we'll call it into this video at 41 minutes. But I definitely learned something today. I've suspected it for a while. that I was struggling to tune some things because they were too light, and now I know for a fact that I was struggling to tune some things because they were too light. Okay, aim this down there. You can see I'll take a little victory lap up and down the hallway, the microphone off so you won't hear me, but that's the end of the video. Hope this was helpful to some people. There's a lot of things that can mess with your tuning. Kind of curious to go back and try those settings that I copied from that screenshot I was looking for, but maybe I'll do that off camera. Anyway, I did get it working. It was live. Things always go wrong. You never really know what's going to happen, but there it is. And victory lap. Alright, there it was. I even pulled off the juggling on it, which something I know the VESC balancing unicycles are not great at is direction changes. So if you love idling, you're going to be unhappy because it just loses power for a fraction of a second when you change directions. Pretty sure it's related to Hall sensors because on my HFI skateboard setup it doesn't happen. But it's not really part of the balance app code as far as I know. But there it is. That's everything. We did it. I'm gonna probably move that battery back to a backpack where I actually want it and just fill the empty sides with lead or something. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'll figure something out. This video, if it wasn't helpful, it's your fault, not mine. Peace out. That's all.